Hey, good morning, guys. It's Mark and Anna. Thanks for tuning in for this video. We have some pretty exciting news.
Wait,
Oh, yeah.
First things first.
Yeah.
First things first, I need to say sorry that there was no video on Wednesday. That's what I need to say. Get it off my chest.
That's true. I'm sure a lot of you guys were just going through withdrawals. So,
Oh gosh.
you know,
Yes.
there's that. But anyway, so we do have some news to share with you. First off, we're not pregnant, so there's
No
that.
babies. No more babies.
But we are.
Do you want me to say it?
Yeah.
No, not yet.
Oh.
We can't just do that.
No.
Okay. We have to say it together. Okay, so funny story. We actually recorded this whole thing yesterday, like a 30-minute long video with this announcement. When I started to sit down and put the video together for YouTube, you know, cutting and editing and everything, I was like, this is just too mean. This is long and drawn out. And so we decided to re-record this part this morning where we just come out and say it. Are you ready? Here's our announcement.
Are you doing it now?
2,
Oh, okay.
3. We're moving! That's our big announcement. When we first started this channel and put in the garden and decided to vlog, these chickens are crazy, we knew that we would get to this point where we would have to come out and tell you guys that, yes, we are moving our family to Tennessee. We wanted you guys to be a part of that. And so we wanted you to see our beginnings here with our garden and everything, and show you what we're learning and that kind of stuff, but then also take you along on the journey moving our homestead from here all the way to Tennessee, where we'll continue to homestead and farm on some bigger property out there. You want to take us back a few years?
Sure. Yeah. So this decision to move has been like a 3-year-long process. We originally went to Tennessee, just the two of us. Mm-hmm. She's involved with Christian music, and so she's got this writing circle that she's a part of.
And then we went back and we took the kids, and they loved it. Everybody loved it. We just fell in love with that area. So I've been back a handful of times every year since. This year, several of my trips got canceled because of COVID, but yeah, we've just fallen in love with that place and have felt such a pull that we can't shake it. And so the time is right. We're ready. We're all ready. Our families are supportive. The kids are ready. And yeah, it's time to do it.
What that looks like and what that means to us is two different things, but kind of together, if that makes sense. But what that would mean for Anna would be that she'd be closer to her music community, you know, within a day's drive, you know, an afternoon drive or something like that, that she could be a part of whatever is going on there. What that would mean for me is actually farming. That agriculture has always been a part of my life, and more on just a hobby, just messing around, having fun, I guess you would say, on the homestead level. But during this whole process, just the idea of actually making money from a farm is pretty captivating, you know. I had always subscribed to this belief that farming is, you know, a dying breed and there's no money in there. And some of that might be true, but I think we're in a pretty good position to be able to give it a shot. You're going to be a part of this journey from square one. You got to see what we've started with, and if you stick around in this video, you'll get a tour of our property. Years down the road, you can maybe look back on this and say, oh, that's how they started. If it's successful in terms of being sustainable financially, that it can kind of keep itself going, that you'll be able to say, wow, you know, I can do that. Meaning you can do that. Or the opposite could be true, to where if it's just really nothing is clicking, and it is true that there is no money in there, and you know, everything gets turned upside down, then you'll be able to see that and go, maybe I shouldn't do that, or whatever. So anyway, this whole moving process and journey, transition, is the culmination, if you will, of both of our interests.
Yeah, this is, I think, really a dream for Mark to just pursue farming full on. Like you said, for me, just being closer to my music community, where I'm able to participate in more events and be around people that are like-minded, artistic like myself. And I think it's going to be a really good melding of both of our dreams. We're really excited about it. This property here, you know, has so much meaning to us, significance, and what's the word? Sentiment, so much sentiment. We have loved this place. We've appreciated it and taken the best care of it that we can. Like Mark said, if you are interested in purchasing this property, we are looking for a buyer. If you're interested, keep watching, because we're going to give you a full tour of the property, and then I'll also add some pictures of the inside at the end of the video. So that's our big announcement. Thank you guys so much for following along, for supporting us, for encouragement. We're excited to have you with us, and we're excited to share the journey. So
Yep.
Let's do it.
All right, stay tuned.
Okay, so we're gonna start this tour in the driveway. This is the driveway coming out of the road.
Oh, I'll pan with this.
And as you can see, it's kind of a busy road. But anyway, this is the driveway coming in to the property, and this is the house. Now, originally, this was built in 1950, but my grandparents, whom we purchased the property from, totally remodeled this house in the 1970s, added the second floor and then a bunch of square footage. So when they purchased the property, it was a single level home, much smaller, like less than 1,000, maybe 600 square foot, 1 or 2 bedrooms. This original footprint around the fireplace right there, that was the original home. So in the 70s, it was just a huge remodel and addition. So as far as the land goes, it was originally like 20-ish acres, and then in the 1990s, it was subdivided with a road that goes behind the property there. You can't really see it, but there's a road that goes back there, and that's all the subdivided lots. So we are sitting currently on a little less than 3 acres, like 2.6 acres is what's left with this original home. Coming up the driveway on the left, you have our orchard area. There are mainly apple trees. What have we got? 5 apple trees right there that you're looking at.
Apple,
all sorts
apple,
of different
apple.
varieties. No, I'm sorry, there's 4 apples. This one here that you're looking at, that is a cherry tree.
And then there's the apple tree that's way over there.
Yep. So
We call this the orchard. This is what we call it, the orchard. Cherry tree swing, of course. Then there's the house on the right side.
yep, so that's the front of the house, so we can see the orchard and the garden space, and even the chicken area that you'll see later, pretty well from the front of the house. Coming out of the dining room, good view of what's going on. You know, you can watch the deer, make sure they're not getting into anything they shouldn't. Something that just comes to mind right offhand is I remember my mom telling me that there used to be a boulder right at the peak of this driveway, and my mom, when she was here, when she was raised here, she was able to stand on that boulder and look out this direction before the homes were put there, and she could see the school bus coming from, miles away. And obviously that's not the case anymore with just how things have been developed. But you know, that goes to show you there's a lot of history and a lot of stories here and memories. So there have been a lot of memories here, and even for myself as a much younger child then, coming to my grandparents, and we would have Christmases here and Thanksgiving here, and I was very attached to my grandfather, and so I'd spend a lot of time out here just doing odd jobs, you know, mending fences or building things in the shop, which is beyond the house there, just being here. So that's some good memories right there. Moving on from the orchard, which is on our left, is the garden space that you guys have seen many times if you've followed our weekly garden update. I don't think we'll do an update this week, but just know that that is the garden space. That fence was built this year, and we did all of this on a budget. That those posts were purchased for $2 a piece. And let's see here, I think it's roughly 40 by 40. So what is that, like 800 square feet? Something like that. So nice garden space. It's nice to have it so close to the house to where you can come and go and keep an eye out on things like that. So that's that. Beyond the garden space is our chicken yard. There is this old fence that hides it from the road, so it's a little hard to tell what's back here. But you saw this chicken coop build in some of the videos. This has worked really well. I am thoroughly pleased with this build. And then moving to the other side, I'll show you the chicken yard. Just shooting from the hip here, I don't remember the measurements or the dimensions of the chicken yard, but it is an 8-foot high chicken yard. I think the width is like 20 foot, and the length on this one is probably closer to like 25 feet. Look at that. What the heck?
Stinker.
That was random.
It's a good picture though. Look at that.
Go on. Where did that come from?
That's funny.
I know, right? So much for clipping their wings.
Yeah.
Maybe they grow back.
I don't know.
Yeah.
This is how we measure stuff.
Oh, okay. So the chicken yard, the dimensions on this is 8 foot high, 24 foot long, and 12 foot wide. So pretty good space for them to be able to be confined. We don't do free ranged. You're shaking your head. Okay, so the official numbers are out. We had a little dispute over dimensions on this thing, but Mr. Milwaukee just don't lie. So, according to Mr. Milwaukee, this is 15 feet wide by 28, right?
Yep.
By 28 long. So 15 by 28. This is their chicken yard. They do very well in here, and we are happy that they do well in here. When we first started keeping chickens, we started by just free ranging them, you know, that they had access to all of this area here that we call the park, where there's a playhouse down there, and beyond that there's a pond and all sorts of stuff. So they had access to all this. But what we soon discovered is that they all huddled right around the door at our house where we come in and out, probably because they knew that's where the food came from. So they would all congregate in there and they would poop right there. So anyway, it just didn't work out. That's not how we wanted to manage chickens. So having them in a designated area like this has worked well for us. And then just making sure that there's plenty of straw in here to keep mud down, like in the winter time, is key. And that actually, by the way, turns into compost. So, but that's the chicken yard. And then, like I said, that's our park that we play, the kids play, that pond. beyond the playhouse down there. It's right now just full of weeds. That is a seasonal pond. So in the winter time, starting probably in another month or so when the weather turns, that will fill up. So that's kind of fun for the kids to come out and jump in. You know, it doesn't really add up to much, but probably 2 foot of water in there. So that's kind of nice. And then moving past the pond there used to be a tire swing. It actually broke this year.
And
it was
the swing set.
Oh yeah, the
broke
swing
too.
set. The swing set was in this weeded out area. There's nothing grown there. And the kids were having these competitions of how high they could swing, you know, so the whole swing set was just rocking back and forth, and then finally it broke. So that broke, and then the tire swing that was hanging from a limb off of that oak tree, the rope on that broke, which was amazing because that rope lasted probably close to 30 years. It was a very stout, like horse lead type rope. So we got a tremendous amount of life out of that thing. But anyway, down there is a hammock. That's actually my oldest daughter's.
Let's walk down there.
So we're gonna take you down where that hammock was, just so you can get a better idea of what this property looks like. So all of this area, the park and the playhouse and where we're going now, this is maintained, manicured, if you will, to where it stays mowed. It's a place where the kids can come and play, and when we have family over, this is a natural area to be, just because of all the, like, I don't know if you can pan up, but
Yeah.
there's just this canopy
trees.
of trees
Well,
that makes it very shaded in the summertime. So this is a comfortable place to play.
it's deceiving though, because there is all these trees like this, all these oak trees, but if you go just a little bit right out there, that sky over there opens up, and it's an incredible place to stargaze. You feel like you're out in the woods, and it's just, you got all these trees around, but then there's this open sky right there, and that's really fun.
Yeah, there you go, like a sunroof,
Yeah, like a little
a moon roof.
opening.
Yeah, so this is,
Here, I'll turn it around now.
okay. So now we're at the bottom of the park, in the area that does have the canopy cover from these oak trees. Yeah, so the hammock, there's an old well that we covered up with a bunch of rocks on the other side. Big old boulders. Just, you know, you're not going to be able to move them without some equipment. This is a concrete lined well, and we measured it with a rock and some rope, you know, to see at what point we hit water. It's only 14 feet before we hit water. And so when we moved here, like I was going to say, that well was just covered with plywood that was probably, again, like 30 years old. And so you were stepping on it, you know, man, this is kind of squishy, you know. And I don't remember exactly what happened, but seems like maybe I put some more weight on it and it kind of crumbled under it, and then you know, some of the wood hit water, and it was like, oh my gosh, that's an open well. So we took the cover off, and sure enough, you know, the hole's probably 2 foot around, and it's 14 foot down to water. And I forget now, but like the bottom of the water table was, do you remember what it was?
24, I think it's 24 feet from
okay,
top
so
to
short of 30 foot. So you had, whatever that is,
14 feet of water.
close to 10 or 14 foot of water that you would fall into. So it's just like all the things that could have been,
With small
makes you
kids,
nervous,
yeah.
yeah, with having kids. So anyway, we put these big boulders on there, so that covers up the well. We don't even need to worry about it.
You can kind of see how far we are from the chicken coop, and there's the shop. And then there's Jacob's fort with a little flag.
Yeah.
And his little underground box there. There is
Yep.
bamboo right there. That's bamboo. So you want to take us from here, Mark? Around the field?
Yes, this is what it looks like for me to just let the kids have fun and not micromanage. So it looks a little, however you want to say it. Looks a
Homeless.
little like a homeless camp, but they had a good time. Let's go around, but we'll show you the field where we made hay this year. So this is the area where we made hay this year. That was the first time ever that we have. My grandfather did all sorts of stuff like that. But, you know, we figured that this is probably, from where that tractor hit the road up there, that this is probably in the neighborhood of an acre. Over in this area, we do have a group of oak trees. I think there's probably 4 or 5 in there. And they do make a pretty good circle. So that would be another cool place to put a fort. And, so that's fun over there. Lining our property, we've got these cherry trees. I only paid like $1 for each of these trees, and they've been in the ground 6 years. So there's 12 of them, $12. Sure, why not? And over there, that's one of my other monkeys. Right there. See it?
They actually like to walk up this road. There's a little cul-de-sac. It's a little hill that goes up there. They have fun riding their bikes up there and walking, and especially around sunset. It's really pretty.
Okay, so I'm gonna show you the shop. We'll walk around it. That's obviously the back. This is the side of the shop. So this area over here has just been a kind of our catch-all. I mean, I guess everybody needs a catch-all, and this is ours. We have started our wood project. It needs to be completed. We were just talking about that today. Our kids, this kid here.
And another one.
Was making this structure into another fort. So we have plenty of forts going on here.
This is their spy room. This is where the spies do their work. Are you a spy?
I can't tell you.
Nice. There you go. So that's their spy fort. So this is the shop right next to our catch-all in the house. This is a 35 by 50 shop with 2 man doors and 1 roll-up door. I believe this is a 12-foot roll-up door. I could be wrong. It might be a 10-foot. I think it's a 10-foot roll-up door.
Go stand by it.
Right here. So I'm 6 foot. So that doesn't look like twice my height. So I'm going to say that's probably a 10-foot door.
There you go.
So anyway, I can show you inside. It's a little messy. We've got a bunch of house projects going on, so it's just kind of is what it is. So this is the inside of the shop. This is where I mostly do any type of projects. Is this workbench. This shop does have a wood stove, and I actually take this out most of the time in the summertime. It just gives me a little bit more square footage to move things around and get the tractor in and out and those types of things. I didn't do that obviously this year, but typically during the warm season, this would come out. So anyway, not insulated. It is a nice building though. We do a lot of different things in here. This is our shop. It's a great setup. We use this all the time. So I'll show you the yard. So now outside of the shop door, you can see this is what we're looking at here: the park, the coop, the garden, the orchard. This is our yard around the house where we hang out, eat dinner, play games, all that stuff. We do have a small fire pit over here that we oftentimes hang out around in the evenings. Makes it kind of nice. So that's the yard. I think we'll just walk you around the house. This would be the south side of the house. It's not much, especially this time of year. We don't have an irrigation system or anything like that, so we let the grass go dormant-ish. We do water occasionally, but there's just a lot of other things to be doing, and watering the grass just doesn't seem to be high on that priority list, so it doesn't get done, which it's fine. I mean, whatever. So the house itself, we've done a lot of work, and maybe Anna will show you some pictures of all the different projects we've done. The big one, the most expensive one anyway this year, would be the windows. It's got all new windows. They are like really nice windows. So the windows was our biggest project money-wise this year. This was almost 15,000, 1-5. That's a crazy number for windows, but they're very, very nice.
The old ones were the single pane, aluminum frame, really, really bad. You know, air gets in, water gets in. They were starting to get moldy, and I could not sleep knowing that those were the windows we had in our kids' rooms. So I was the one that really kind of pushed him over the edge to bite the bullet and pay for the windows. But I'm really glad we did, because they're really nice windows. If you are interested in purchasing this property in Oregon, in the Willamette Valley, would you let us know in the comments below, and we will be sure to get our agent in touch with you, and he can answer all of your questions. That's our big announcement.
Yeah, it's a huge announcement, and like she was saying, we've been going back and forth for like 3 years on this, just because of the magnitude of this decision and all the moving parts that would have to come together. And both of our families are here in Oregon, and we are moving 2,000 miles away, you know, so it's a huge decision, right? But we have fallen in love with that area, and with the things that moving will mean. And I don't know how
It's a bright future.
yeah, it means many different things.
A lot of
and
potential.
It opens up a lot of opportunities, and so it's exciting. It is a huge thing, but it's going to be exciting. What this does mean for future videos is you probably will see more like home remodel projects than gardening projects, just because there is a couple of things that we need to do to this house before we can actually list the home. And so you get to come along with this. You get so you get to come so you get to come along with us during that journey.
We wanted you to see our journey from here all the way to there. So from here on out, the videos that we're going to make, they won't make sense to you unless you know that we're moving. That's where we're at. So
Yep. So this is going to be more like a diary of
our transition
and what things are going to look like. So anyway, there you have it. This is our property. We're here, we're doing projects, but we are moving, so stay tuned.
If you were a boat, my darling, a boat, my darling, I'd be the wind at your back. If you were afraid, my darling, afraid, my darling, I'd be the courage you lack.
lot of memories here. And so, oh shoot, I was gonna tell him where. Yeah, I'll let that.
I know. Just keep it basic right now.
Yep.
It looks funny.
I know. I'm trying to decide. Is it my eyes? What does it look like?
Looks like
don't
my
know.
eyes are like ultra blue.
Well, your eyes are ultra blue.
Are my eyes ultra blue?
There's a lot of traffic right now. We're gonna have to talk like this. We're excited.
Yes.